My fuzzy friends, and welcome back to Mystic Blue. Back inside. Back inside. Like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, my name is Fuzzy Cup, and welcome back to Mystica Block. So, I've been a little bit busy since the end of the last episode. I made myself a completely amazing, beautiful little house. My architectural genius of a cobblestone hut is gone. And with the help of a very nice comment on my last video, I have upgraded the farm. You see, one of the drops from our mob farm was actually a slime pearl, and the slime pearl is used to make one of these lily pads of fertility, which are basically superchargers for seeds. So down below here, I have made a platform. Oh, I'm missing one. I have made a platform of lily pads, which I believe reach up to 6 or 7 blocks high, the radius. Up here, I've surrounded both of these with lily pads, and I have doubled up the harvesters. And boy, has that made a huge difference. Looks like our insanium worries are over. Also moved our lava production from here to in here. And I have hooked it up to the smeltery system as well, so it's constantly being fed with lava. But the reason I did it over here was I need to sift for netherite scrap. And how you get netherite scrap is you use redstone on a stone barrel full of lava. That turns it into netherrack. You crush netherrack with a hammer, and you filter the crushed netherrack. I have filtered hundreds of pieces of crushed netherrack, and I've only gotten 14 netherite scrap. I need 16 pieces in order to make 4 ingots to make the seed. I am going insanium. So I'm gonna hope that the last amount here is going to get me 2 more, because I really don't want to keep on doing this. And that is the last one. You know, for video editing purposes, that would have been great if I had gotten the last 2 pieces, but alas, I have some more conversion in my future. So I'll bring you guys back in when I have 2 more pieces. So, 44 more stacks, and let me see, nearly 6 stacks of gold chunks. I got 17 scrap, which is enough for me to turn into netherite seeds, which will be very important in the coming few episodes. But for now, I just need the netherite seeds to produce netherite. So let's pop over to the storage area. Grab 4 supremium. 5 supremium, actually. A piece of dirt. And our hoe. Supremium. Boop, 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 and a boop. And a boop. Netherite seeds. Job done. So the reason I want to get that done now is because I am actually going to be doing a live stream now. So the next scene you see in this episode is probably going to be very different than when I start now. So don't forget, check out my channel on my live tab to see the live stream that is just about to take place. Kind of like your time travelers. And welcome back. We had quite an interesting stream, and a lot happened, such as Fuzzy finally got his flight augment. Haha! It didn't exactly turn out like I thought it was going to turn out. We actually had to get into industrial foregoing before I could even make the mob crusher, because I did a fuzzy and I didn't look at the recipe properly, and this thing needed pink slime and latex. So we had to do that before we went and we defeated the Lich King, but yes, we had an amazing stream. We got our flight augment, we got all the augments on our armor, and we finally got the Philosopher's Stone. So in this episode, we're getting into Project E. Okay, so now that our island is done, we need to get into Project E. And to use Project E, we need something called EMC. Most things in this pack seem to have an EMC value, apart from the things that are really difficult to craft, ironically. And one of the things we can do is we can make something called energy condenser. Now what you do is you feed the energy condenser items, and it can basically turn them into something else, EMC related. Also, you can make something called transmutation tablet, and this is basically a giant battery, for want of a better word, for EMC. So everything you put into it has a EMC value, which is an equivalency value. So let's say you put in 1 cobblestone, which has an EMC value of 1. You can make 100 cobblestone into something that has the equivalent of 100 EMC. So what we need to do is we need to get something with a very high EMC value and pump it into our tablet. So for that, we're going to use the netherite seeds that we made earlier in this episode. But unfortunately, the botany pots aren't fast enough to make as much EMC as we need. So we're going to have to get into the power pots. But to use the power pots, we need to get into power. So we're going to have to get into power. So I'm going to go head to the nether and I'm going to get some blaze rods because we're going to need that to progress in power. So let's get started. So let's pop this here. Hop into the nether for the first time. Which, of course, is a void nether. Let's make a waypoint here. And I've waited to go into the nether till now, because at least now we can fly. So I'm going to go explore a little bit. Aha! I see a portal coming into the distance. Now, as you might know, nothing can spawn in void. So this nether portal is going to be chocked full of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly in really quickly, make sure I get a blaze rod, and retreat back home. Because I think we just need 1 blaze rod, and then we can use the EMC system to duplicate it. So, Geronimo! There's the blaze. Ow. Better turn a magnet on as well. Compressed wither skeleton. Interesting. Oh, this is amazing. By the way, we have strength 6 and attack. Ugh. Strength 6 and AoE 5, I think that is, or AoE 4 on this. So, yeah, it basically kills everything in a very large area. We also have flight, hungerless, wither resistance, fire resistance, health boost 6, speed 2, no fall damage, and absorption 6. So we're almost invincible in here, basically. Yeah, I think that's probably enough for now. Let's pop home. Oh, would you look at the amount of insanium we have? We definitely don't need to make this any bigger or better. By the time we actually need the insanium, we're going to have tons. But at the moment, we need to get into Project E. So let's make the energy condenser and the philosopher's stone. So we need 4 obsidian, 4 blocks of diamond, and an alchemical chest, which is any chest, iron, stone, diamond, and this powder, whatever it is. That's 4 blocks of diamonds, coal, and a diamond. Wow, that gives you 40. Nice. Low covalence dust, light blue dye, and iron. There's all the covalence dust, 1 alchemical chest, and 1 energy condenser. Nice. Now, let us make this guy. So I need 4 obsidian, 4 stone, and the philosopher's stone. And does that use up the philosopher's stone? No, it does not. May as well make another one of those. Hey, future Fuzzy here after a few hours of very loud cursing that I cut out of the video. You see, there was a problem with Project E, and I put everything into the transmutation table, and it all disappeared when I logged out. So when I logged back in, I furiously searched online, and I just discovered that I am 2 updates behind, and in the previous update, Project E was fixed. So we're going to restart the video from the point where I have recovered quite a lot of the recipes, but most of them are not there. So yeah, let's jump back to present, Fuzzy. Right, I think that is most of the stuff remembered. I know there's going to be a ton of stuff that I've lost in this whole Project E recipe issue thing, but I really need to get onto this episode, so let's get back into the power mod. Oh, and let's make sure we have the particles for happy villagers turned off. Otherwise, this is going to be just filled with particles. Okay, so I have this little power setup. Power setup? Anyway, this is basically how you start with the power mod. You have a power source connected to these pipes, and you have a rod which connects to an orb. raise the orb. And these basically energize whatever is put in there. Now, I believe the starter version gives you energized steel, which is gold and iron. And it works its way up using blaze rods and eventually nether stars. But I am going to quickly get up to maybe the hardened or the blazing version of the magmator or magmator. And at the moment we just need enough power to get our MK1 pot. Oh, all my recipes are gone. Yeah, we just need this guy to get some netherite seeds into it. Get that hooked into the alchemical chest thingy over there and start making more EMC. So I'll get back to you guys when I have that set up. And welcome back. So yes, I know I skipped quite a lot of the crafting on camera, but at the moment I really just wanted to get this little setup done so we can have some power to power our power pots. That was a lot of peas. So to make this work, what I want to do is get all the power that's coming out of these magmators, and I want to channel it into something called a flux plug and a flux point. Think of flux networks as a wireless power service. So if you can attach a flux plug to something that produces power, you can use a flux point to transfer that power wirelessly around the world. I actually believe it also works interdimensionally, which is quite good. And luckily in this pack, flux dust is very easy to make. Normally in a pack, it's made by crushing redstone between bedrock and an obsidian block. So thankfully they made it a little bit easier now, and I think everything from flux is also EMCable. So let's grab some redstone, some coal, there we go, some flux dust. We'll learn that thing up. Then we just need some obsidian, an eye of ender, and some more flux dust to make the flux cores, and then the flux cores get put together and made into a flux plug or controller or whatever else we need for it. And finally, one flux point and one flux plug. I'll learn both of these. So let us get a flux plug attached to here. And what we want to do is we want to create a new network. And we're going to leave it as Fuzzy Cubs Network. We're going to leave it red because that's my channel colors. We're going to leave it public because, well, it's just me on the server. And we are going to create. And then all we do is we pop this onto my network. Disable limit because why not? And that should be having power going into it. And we're finally almost there, guys. We're almost at the stage where we can get this netherite seed into a power pot and start making proper EMC. And oop. Finally! We finally did it! Now let's make millions of them. Well, as soon as we get our power situation sorted. So the way I want to do this is I want to have the energy condenser here. I'll have an energy pipe going into it. Just gonna grab this tier 3 crafter for a second. Learn that because I need another one. Place the crafter here, the drawer here, with another one of these. The power pot on top, some insanium farmland, and the netherite seed inside. Then we use some of our flux points here onto Fuzzy's network. And here onto Fuzzy's network. And now we make sure that this recipe is applied here to make a netherite ingot. And that should be made straight away. We'll make sure this gets put into here. And that 50,000 EMC for just one netherite ingot. Wow, we need to get a lot of these set up then. I think I'm going to have to rethink the amount of power pots I'm going to need. But for now, I would like to disconnect this. And then put this on extract. Put this guy in there. Then I want to add on whitelist, netherite essence, submit. And that means only netherite essence will get sucked out of there. And all the rest of the stuff will be left behind. So let's reconnect this. And that was instantaneous. Now we have 500,000 EMC in there. So yeah, let's upgrade that to a PowerPot Mark II, and then between the episodes, I'll make a few more of these and get a better, more streamlined setup. And I'll probably do that on my Discord. So if you want to check it out, join my Discord, link is in description. And yeah, I I kind of like doing things, hanging out and just doing menial things around the island. So I hope to see you there. For now, let's get this guy crafted into a Mark II. When you compress gold by 2, that's a lot of gold. These be expensive. And redstone compressed by 2. Okay, so finally, Mark II. Learn that. 9.1 million. Oof. Although technically, that's only what, like, maybe like a stack and a bit of netherite. We'll be able to make that up in no time. Up you there. Stanium in. Netherite in. And that grows much quicker. So we can't just take it out when it's ready and put it into our tablet there behind us, or our table, our transportation table there behind us. But what I want to do is I want to tell this alchemical chest to turn this into something else. And what I want to do is I want to put a block of dark matter in here, because that compresses all this down into one easy block and I don't have to keep on emptying this chest. So why don't we take our philosopher's stone and make dark matter like so. So we need 4 dark matter, which is a block of diamond, and 8 Eternalis fuel, which is 4 Mobius fuel and a philosopher's stone. Yeah, that's doable. We're rich with EMC now. And we craft our first dark matter. And that's all that matters. And of course we learn, grab out these, make a block of dark matter, and then we put the block of dark matter up here. And you can see that the netherite was automatically turned into dark matter blocks. And that will just make it much easier for getting all the EMC from that chest into our tablet. So I'm just going to do a little bit of tidying up around this island. And hopefully, maybe in about a half an hour or so, I'll check back and see exactly how much EMC we have stored up. So I just took Moose for a walk. And before I went out, I managed to get 9 of these set up. And I have already taken an entire full stack of dark matter blocks and put it into the system over there. And I'm just wondering myself exactly how much is in there, because I was gone for, I'm going to say, about 25 to 30 minutes. So let's have a look. Oh, wow. Nearly 3 stacks, and each stack being 35.6 million. Wow. We're already up to 141 million. Also, if anybody knows how to get rid of this dark matter block, nothing seems to be able to break it, and I accidentally put it down when I was trying to put things in. It's just the progress is 0. It won't move. So in the comments, let me know how exactly do you get rid of a dark matter block. It would be really nice to be able to use that spot. But yeah, I think we're going to have to upgrade this dark matter block to something else, because that's going to fill up a lot if I AFK overnight. So let's see. The red matter. So we should be able to make the red matter with the Eternalis fuel and dark matter, and then 4 of them together make a block. Eternalis fuel, dark matter. There we have red matter. Nice. Learn that guy. A block of red matter, and learn that guy. Can we take that further, actually? What comes after red matter? Dark matter, red matter, magenta matter, pink matter. Oh wow, it goes up quite steeply after this. I wonder if we can get to pink matter. Hidden fuel and red matter makes magenta matter. We can do that. Magenta matter. Learn. Pink matter is magenta fuel and magenta matter. And magenta fuel is 4 Eternalis fuel. Again, very easy. I have a feeling we can go quite far with this. Pink matter. And I'm going to assume, because that always turns out well for me, that the magenta matter and this makes pink fuel. Nice. And again, I'm going to assume that the next matter is made like so. Purple matter that has 14.2 million. I think that's okay for now. We'll just throw in some purple matter in there. That should allow us to AFK tonight and have tons of stuff in the morning. Oh, actually, the other change that I made was I've started to place around the island little things like this, just enough to give us a couple of thousand FE. I have also decided that I made the thermal generators instead, because the magmatic ones, they really weren't working very well. My lava production wasn't enough to keep up with them, so these ones are actually much simpler. They basically use a block of blazing crystal underneath this, and then using our infinite water from our ender tank, you pump water in, and they basically make infinite power. And then, obviously, another little patch of tier 6 solar panels. And I have done a little bit of testing. These, the solar panels over there and the generators over here, they are enough to keep this entire system running even at nighttime. Because down here, I did put in a battery buffer system too. And with that, that is all the time I have for today. So if you liked this episode, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!